makers. I got some mail. I ordered this, and I'm pretty sure this is my Sentro. I actually ordered 2 different ones. I ordered the 42 needle, and I ordered the 22 needle. So we'll see which one this is. This is, well, I think this is the smaller one. So let's see. There is no description here, but this looks small. So I'm going to try to put it together, and then I'm going to try to use it. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's try this again. So for suggested yarn, it says wool or acrylic. For wool, it says size 6 to 10. And for acrylic, it says size 6 to 8. So basically, light worsted, and maybe a 5 if it plays nice. So the knitting machine came with yarn, and I knitted it, or I threaded it according to the directions, and now I'm just letting it run. I want to see how big this is diameter. So here is the first attempt with the yarn that they provided. I can see this being useful if I wanted to make soap sacks, which that was the main purpose for me buying this, plus any like worsted weight socks or slippers. It says you can knit a hat. I don't, unless it's a baby hat, I don't see that happening. It does say gloves, which again, I can totally see that. You know, basically you make a tube, and then at some point you add a hole or stop and do 2 together. The instruction booklet is not 100% thorough, but for a first attempt, I would definitely say I'm going to get my money's worth. If for nothing else, I can make soap sacks. So I'm very excited about that. So I attempted to do a panel just to see how difficult it was going to be. I tried following the directions it came with. I found a YouTube tutorial, and it's making unhappy noises. So I'm going to stop. I don't know if it's because this is technically not a Sentro, maybe. I don't know. But since I don't want to break it. Again, I'm hoping the actual Sentro, the 42 needle one that I'm getting hopefully soon, works a lot better, especially when it comes to making panels. We'll see. But yeah, for the purpose of making soap sacks, this is going to be perfect, and maybe the occasional worsted weight sock. And I'm really excited that I got this today. So this is a different day, if not obvious, different clothes, different hair. So right after I finished shooting that segment, I tried to use that machine in different ways, and it didn't work, and it didn't work, and it didn't work. I literally watched a video on how to fix common problems with your Sentro, took it apart, made sure there was nothing gunking up the works, everything was nice and greased, because it was brand new, and the action was good when there wasn't any yarn in it, but as soon as I tried to put yarn in it, any yarn, it was not happy. So I returned it, got a refund, Which it doesn't surprise me because I think that's the same version that Mama G had problems with. And I got an actual Sentro. Now I've been playing with this one today a little bit just to see what it can do and what it can't do. So, unlike the other machine, it did not say in the instructions to use only wool or to use only acrylic. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but the whole reason for me to initially buy it was to try to make soap sacks. Well, it can do cotton, but it does not play nice with it. At least not with the Lily's sugar and cream cotton. Now, there's a couple of theories I have from that. One is texture. If you've ever worked with the Lily sugar and cream cotton, you know that it's very dry. It's one of the reasons why people prefer it for dishcloths. So it might work with mercerized cotton. I also did not try different weights of yarn this time. I stayed everything in the 4 weight range. But I did notice that the other thing was the yarn. If you've ever worked with Lily's sugar and cream, the other thing, or equivalent, the other thing is that if even when I went slow, sometimes the yarn would split. So I would hesitate to put Caron Simply Soft on that particular Sentro. But when I put just straight up acrylic on it, it was beautiful. It worked wonderfully. In fact, I'm going to insert a clip of my daughter using the Sentro just fine. Isn't that adorable? Now, and letting her use the Sentro actually helped me decide a couple of things. It's a good, I'm going to keep it. Even though I can't use it for what I originally wanted to use it for. Because I was sitting with the Sentro and I used one of my newer yarns, which is the jelly bean yarn that I literally just got a couple of days ago. Now, if you remember, that is a mostly acrylic, and I think it's mixed with polyester. Well, there's a skein right here. 93% acrylic and 70% polyester. It was not as smooth as a 100% acrylic, but it wasn't as unhappy as it was with the cotton. And in the space of 20 minutes, I made something that I could wear as a sock if I wanted to. But what I would do differently, this is the bind off edge, is instead of, is it? Anyway, is in order to actually make a sock, is once I got it to the length that I wanted to, is pick up the stitches with an actual pair of knitting needles and give it an elastic bind off, because this is tight and I have doubts about actually getting it onto any foot, even if it's a small foot. But this was a nice way to see how that yarn did pull on that Sentro. It's a nice barber pole effect. I don't know if I'm going to keep this scrap. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to undo it. But I told my son, or my husband, you know, especially during the winter when it's like, oh, everybody needs thick socks again. Oh, you know, you outgrew your socks that I made you last year. Here's a new pair in under an hour, you know. And that's even for the bigger people. So, now, of course, if I want to double it up, it would take me longer. But it's like I told him, you know, I could double this one up quite easily. And that could be a shorty sock for my daughter, probably. Maybe not quite, but not bad for 20 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to keep it. And, you know, I was talking with my friend, and she said, well, why don't you just hand make the soap sacks? It's like, well, I will, because I think my biggest problem with hand making the soap sacks was knitting them in the round. And I don't know why I thought I had to knit them in the round, because I'm like, you know, I can just knit it flat and then sew the ends together, and it will be, you know, I just do garter, cast on 32 stitches, garter, and then seam up the sides, or sew up the sides. It's a great no thinking project, a great traveling project. And hey, I've got a whole bunch of cotton that I don't have any use for, that, you know, I bought way back in the day when I was doing the Phoenix blanket. That was an undertaking and a half. Makes the baby blanket that I'm making right now look like a joke. Really, seriously. I wonder if I can find that playlist and link it. If I can, I will. Or at least put it in the comments or something like that. If nothing else, I'll put, I think there's a picture on what used to be the community tab and is now called the post tab. I'm not 100% sure. Again, if I can find something, I will post it. But it's a huge blanket that I made for my cousin, who also crochets, which is the only reason I made it. Anyway, I'm blathering on. So I'm still looking forward to, any day now, I should be getting my, it's either 44 needle or 48 needle Sentro, which I bought specifically for knitting hats. Because sometimes I just want to knit a quick hat just to see how the yarn will play sometimes, or just because it's pretty yarn, but I only have one skein of it, might as well just make a hat. So, and again, sometimes casting on and knitting in the round is a little bit difficult. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, especially if you're a subscriber and would like to stay subscribed. That way the evil YouTube overlords don't unsubscribe you from my channel against your will. Feel free to comment down below. It helps my analytics. If you're not a subscriber yet, why not? I have a lot of yarny content, and if that's your job, don't forget to subscribe. Plus, you would do well to ring that notification bell. And if you really want to help this channel grow, share this video with everyone you know. And in the meantime, make what makes you merry. Ciao.